Here, Kelsey, are you a self-gifter? Have you bought yourself, some boots or a trip or a cruise or?
Once in a while I find something I keep my eye on, but I'm on a very tight budget this year, so
I hear you.
We'll wait till the after Christmas sale, see if I can afford anything for myself. We'll find out. Checking out traffic this morning, it's amazing. Way 13, this is where we have that northbound traffic building, and it's still fairly light, so nothing here we need to worry about. And as far as crashes go, none of those in our metro area. That makes things a lot simpler as well. 94, that stretch between the two downtowns where we've had some construction. Now, MnDOT has done its best to get it wrapped up so it doesn't impact our morning commute, but we still are seeing some overnight restrictions, some lane closures, the shoulder here and there being impacted by some of those orange cones. So still be aware there may be some of those early hour restrictions right now as you approach 280 headed in the westbound direction. You might be seeing some crews at work. Use a little caution, but at this early hour at 5:39, it doesn't look like we're going to have to worry about any major. The season is wrapping up. We're enjoying some changes, and that is University Avenue. 2 lanes will be reopening between Emerald Street and Hampden Avenue. It's going to take most of the day, so we could see some delays today, but that will lead to some improvements, of course, as we move forward. We're going to talk now about that weather and Keith Morrison. Hey, Keith. Well, it sounds like if you wanted to maybe go to work a little later tomorrow to avoid the morning rush hour with the snow, maybe you want to get there early today, get a little bit done. I don't know. It's whatever you'd like, but checking out outside today is looking much better. 494 and Highway 100. This is a busy intersection, but so far we're just seeing the activity starting to pick up. No major trouble spots out there. We have no crashes to report. That always helps things along. And at 552, still pretty mild as far as the congestion factor goes. So we're just seeing those cars waking up, getting out there. This is a peek over at the Wisconsin-Minnesota border where we have 94 westbound traffic building heading in the direction of St. Paul, but we're still seeing a steady, free-flowing pace here at about 55, 60 miles per hour. And that's what was no major delays yet. Some good news in the world of construction. University Avenue is reopening 2 lanes between Emerald Street and Hampden Avenue. There's a spot on Snelling opening up today as well. I'll have an update on that coming up in about 10 minutes. But for now, a quick break. Checking out our roadways to see what we're seeing, and we're not seeing much with the weather not being bad yet. On November 30th, we don't typically get a break like this. We're still seeing dry road conditions. Pretty smooth driving out there. Yesterday was the same. So we're hoping for day 2 of that. Highway 10 is one of the spots where we're seeing that eastbound traffic getting heavier at this hour. This is as you approach that section of 35W Highway 10. That junction always gets a little jammed up in the morning hours. That's about the Mounds View area. So eastbound traffic already reducing speeds just a little bit here on Highway 10, but not too shabby. Highway 13 eastbound, we see traffic building here. We did have a report of an incident that involved a semi-truck that was blocking the left lane for a time, but we're not seeing it in the traffic camera, so hopefully that situation has been cleared. And for those of you heading in this direction, you're going to be dealing with fairly light traffic down there in Burnsville. Looking at 169, headed northbound Anderson Lakes Parkway. This is in Eden Prairie. You see that northbound stuff definitely underway as far as the building factor goes. And yesterday we did see things a little bit heavier, and here's why. We have that construction at 494 and 169, and as of yesterday, a brand new ramp closure really got things a little bit to be in place through Friday at about 6 a.m. so it shouldn't impact Friday morning's commute or your weekend travel. But those of you who use this route know that that construction junction is always changing and creating those new challenges. So also use some caution as you find those people out there on foot who are working. 494 across town still fairly quiet. Stay tuned. I'll have another traffic report coming up letting you know where some of those trouble spots are popping up. And Alex, we know they certainly do.
Yes, they do. All right. Thank you, Kelsey.
Morning to you. Thanks for waking up with us. I'm happy to report another dry day on our Twin Cities roadways, and that means it's going to be a pretty smooth morning commute just like we saw yesterday. We're looking right now a lovely shot at 35W southbound heading toward downtown Minneapolis, and right now we're seeing that traffic building, but so far no brake lights. Well, maybe one here or there, but not enough where we're going to be seeing any delays. Same goes for 94. We're seeing that traffic getting heavier now, more and more drivers getting to the point where they're approaching that downtown area, so we're going to start to see the slowdowns, but at 626, that's to be expected. We're in the morning rush hour. The heart of it really starts at 7, so we'll continue to see things progress and precipitation on the way tonight that'll impact tomorrow morning's commute, so definitely tune in tomorrow morning. Checking out our map, we see that we have a few things changing in the world of construction. That comes with the end of the construction weather-related season. Good news for you. University Avenue is reopening to 2 lanes between Emerald Street and Hampden Avenue, and not just that, but Snelling Avenue also seeing some changes for the benefit of the driver, and we're going to be reopening to 2 lanes of traffic at Snelling at University Avenue as well. So hopefully that will make things in the Minneapolis area a little bit smoother for those of you who will be using those roadways. In the Northwest Metro, 94 still looking all right. Most of our traffic just starting to slow down. We're not seeing any major delays quite yet. Of course, that's what I'm here for, so I'll be sure to let you know as soon as those get underway, so be sure to stay tuned. There's much more to come on the Fox 9 Morning News. We'll see you back here. And start to creep up, so it's a nice view as you're making your way to your morning destination. We are seeing traffic getting heavy in several spots. One of those the busiest intersections. Not a surprise up there at Highway 10 and 35W up in Mounds View. That junction always a busy one. We saw it get congested a little bit earlier, and now it's really slowing down. This is Highway 10 eastbound. So as you're going from Coon Rapids toward Mounds View, that's where you're going to start to see those brake lights going on in full force. And looking over to 694, another spot in the north side of town, we do have some heavy traffic in both directions here at Silver Lake Road. We also have a stalled vehicle reported at Matterhorn. That's on the eastbound side. That doesn't seem to be blocking a lane of traffic, but it could be a distraction as drivers pass by. And that news for you in the world of construction. We're reopening to 2 lanes of traffic on University Avenue between Emerald and Hampton Avenue. We're also reopening to 2 lanes of traffic on Snelling or Highway 51. That's also at University. So things could get a little bit easier going for those of you traveling in the Minneapolis area. If you're coming from the northwestern suburbs, 94 eastbound, we're still seeing speeds close to 55 miles per hour, getting heavier as you approach Maple Grove. As you approach St. Paul, things are still looking good on 94 westbound. Into the South Metro, really not too bad yet. Getting busier, though, I'll let you know as the problem spots really pop up, which happen usually in the 7 o'clock hour. For now, though, let's get back over to Alex.
Thank you, Kelsey. It is
should definitely enjoy as we're out on our roadways because we're still seeing the dry conditions that are providing a fairly easygoing commute. Doesn't seem like it'll be that way tomorrow, so be sure to stay tuned in tomorrow morning, the Fox 9 Morning News as well, for the latest updates on some of those crashes as people get back into winter driving mode. Today, though, we do have a few crashes anyway, regardless of our nice road conditions. This is 494 in the northbound direction of Bass Lake Road. That's where we have a crash here. It looks like it involves a semi-truck. It's pulled over to the shoulder, and the northbound traffic in this area is not the heaviest at this hour, but it is enough to slow the northbound traffic as well as those southbounders who are checking out what they see going on. 36 headed westbound through Roseville near Lexington Avenue. We have a crash there. 36 westbound doesn't need any help getting things backed up between 35E and 35W. So expect that we're going to see some slow moving traffic until the situation's taken care of. This looks like it involves a truck as well. So not a good day for the trucks out on our roadways. 94, this is also in the westbound direction up at Highway 101. We're told that the vehicle involved in the crash may be caught up in that guardrail. So that's going to take a little bit of time to get it cleared out and unwrapped, and maybe we'll take some special equipment. Sometimes that adds to the trouble and takes a little bit longer to clear. But this is another spot where we actually have the crash on the side of traffic that usually is lighter at this hour. Usually it's that eastbound stuff coming in from the northwest metro toward the more central area. So westbound, not too big of a deal, but the eastbound traffic might be affected. Slowdowns already in at 713. That's to be expected. I'll let you know if we get some of those crashes cleared up, and hopefully that'll help your drive. But I'll be back with that in about 10 minutes.
Yeah,
guys.
Let's hope so. All right. Thanks, Kelsey.
To you. Thanks for waking up with us here. I'm checking out the roadways for you and keeping an eye on a few different crashes that will definitely impact your morning drive. We're looking at one of those here in the Richfield area. 35W headed northbound at 94th Street. That's where we have this crash pulled over to the shoulder, so it's out of the way of your direct route of travel, but it's still forcing people to slow down a bit, and we don't need any help on 35W northbound heading in that direction. Minneapolis getting congested. We do know it's a busy route at this. Our speeds are reducing. It is happening in several areas since it is 726. We're in the heart of rush hour. 94 eastbound, one of those spots. Not terrible though. It's going to be maybe our last day for the week of dry driving conditions. Tomorrow we're expecting to see some snow in the morning commute. So today really something to enjoy, even if you do find yourself in a backup. 35W southbound, for example, still slow going. Speeds of about 15 miles per hour all the way to 694. That's through Mounds View where we have that the heaviest near Highway 10. 94 though, not too bad, especially since we've had a lot of that construction cleared up here near 280, so things continuing to improve in that area, but not perfect out there quite yet. We're not going to see things wind down till 8:30. Let's go now to M.A. Roscoe, who is helping do a little shave job this morning. M.A. Got a few crashes in the metro area, so let's dive right in. Crosstown headed in the eastbound direction at Cedar Avenue. That's where we have one crash. That's why you're seeing this traffic so backed up in this area. And this isn't the only spot where we have some trouble. Another one is 35W northbound in Bloomington here at 94th Street. We have that situation pulled over to the side of the road, so drivers not forced to move into any stop and go like conditions, but it definitely is a hazy people trying to use 212 or some other route, which will add to the congestion there. Looking to 494 169, that junction, we've had some heavier traffic in the northbound direction at 169 due to the change up there, and that's that the 494 westbound ramp to 169 northbound is closed for now, will be until Friday at 6 a.m. That construction area always a little tricky, and we do have some workers on foot, so we want to use some caution. 494 in the crosstown active at this hour. That's to be expected. The other spot you want to watch for, 36 westbound. We had a crash at Lexington Avenue that has been cleared, but we still have some leftover congestion, so prepare for some delays backed up even east of Highway 61. We're taking a quick break, but there's much more. We made it happen halfway through the work week with some nice dry road conditions. It sounds like tomorrow could be our first taste of a little bit of the wet stuff for this week, and it might get a little messy out there. So be sure to stay tuned to the Fox 9 Morning News for the latest traffic updates. You can also check it out on our website and get it to your phone as well, myfox9.com. Don't forget. Checking out today's conditions, though, not too bad. We do have a few crashes out there right here, though, in St. Louis Park. That northbound traffic on Highway 100, not a result of any crash, just some typical congestion. We're seeing some action on the crosstown in the eastbound direction. We had a crash reported at Cedar Avenue. That's contributing to this slow moving stuff. But the crosstown at 755, you're going to find it fairly busy at this hour anyway. 169 very full as well in the southbound direction in New Hope. Here at Rockford Road, you actually see some stop and go conditions, and at times mostly stopped, but you get a little bit farther south and things. Right now, 494 westbound, the heaviest traffic from Cedar Avenue to 35W. And speaking of 35W, right in Bloomington at 94th Street, we have a crash that's been pulled over to the shoulder. It's not in the way too badly, but it is something you want to be aware of as you pass by there. 494 westbound ramp to 169 northbound continues to be closed until Friday at 6 a.m. and that is providing some added congestion on 169. Another hot spot, 36. We had a crash that's been cleared, but westbound traffic very heavy. Stop and go conditions from between 35E and 35W. We're taking a quick break.
Well, we've had a number of accidents this morning out on the roadways.
Right. It's been a busy one out there. It's probably our last dry day of the week. Tomorrow we're going to experience that snow, and so the concern right now is actually some police activity out there. Those crashes. Another option other than Highway 10 eastbound through Coon Rapids, I'd maybe try that, because right now at 8:08 we definitely would typically be seeing things winding down, and this of course is not. We're looking at the crosstown now, where eastbound traffic a little heavier than normal due to a crash reported near Cedar Avenue. We are seeing this, though, pretty similar to a typical day in the crosstown since it is a heavily used roadway. That crash pulled over to the shoulder. That's helping keep westbound still heaviest between Cedar Avenue and 35W. 35W northbound not too bad now through Bloomington. We had a crash earlier at 94th Street. That's been cleared, so the congestion there easing up. 169 northbound a little heavier than maybe we've seen it before, and that has to do with the ramp closure at 494. That westbound ramp to 169 northbound is causing some of that traffic to have to take a detour, and we still have some workers out on foot and a lot of construction. It changes up there from day to day. Some of you are really used to that. It gets a little annoying, slows you down, and today just know that northbound 169 a little slow. 694 westbound traffic still heavy. Same with 36 due to a previous crash. So prepare. We have not seen things really ease up quite yet in the world of traffic. I'll let you know how things are going in about 15 minutes. But for now, let's get to Keith Marler and talk about, from the sounds of it, this may be our last dry morning commute for the week. So be sure to always use My Fox 9 to check out what the conditions are looking like. Tomorrow we're going to be in winter driving mode. So enjoy today. It's been a fairly easy one on our roadways. We have had a few crashes that have made things a bit challenging at times for some of you. But right now, the concentration of congestion has really started to disperse. 94 westbound, we do have a stalled vehicle here at Highway 52. That's why I'm showing you this traffic camera right now, but it looks like that westbound traffic headed towards St. Paul, not having too much trouble doing that. For the most part, it's pretty easy going out there. Here's another busy spot, though. This is on 35W, headed in the northbound direction toward downtown St. Paul. You see in the distance here at 46th Street, things a little backed up, but just south of here, things still moving along. So it's a pretty Metro 35W northbound easing up. The crosstown 494 still active at this hour, 212 in the eastbound direction. We're still seeing some reduced speeds, but even there we're seeing the congestion start to ease up. It tends to be the southwestern suburbs get started a little bit later, so sometimes the congestion down there continues a little bit later. 94 westbound from Wisconsin, looking at that Hudson Bridge, conditions are good all the way into St. Paul, cruising right along. 35E northbound, though, through West St. Paul into St. Paul, still some congestion there. 35W southbound through Blaine, improving. Highway 10, we had some police activity in Coon Rapids. That slowed things down for a bit, but that's gotten better as well. So we can look forward, if you're heading out onto the roadway right now, they're dry, the congestion is easing up, not too bad for a late morning commute. Alex, back over to you.
All right, thank you, Kelsey.